everyone, and thanks for joining me today. In this video, I'll be sharing all about my last make, which is the Serra jacket. If it's something that's interesting for you, please stay tuned. Before we get started, I just wanted to share a little bit about my New Year resolutions. To me, the holidays are very important because it's a period where I really set the tone to the next year. Last year, some of my resolutions were to see more friends, to improve my sewing skills, and to meditate more. And I have to say I feel quite successful at keeping up with my resolution each year. This year, the one thing that I didn't follow through is being less on my phone and being more present. So this year I want to take a concrete measure, which is to have 1 day a week off of IG, if this makes any sense, just to make sure that I make time to really be present. And my sewing resolution is to sew less. I'm saying that because I just inventoried my wardrobe because I wanted to make the Make 9 little graphic for IG. And I discovered that I have 13 sweaters or cardigans, 7 blazers, 17 long sleeves shirts, 14 dresses, 9 pants, 2 leggings, and I really can't say I need more clothes. Another fact about my wardrobe is that 90% of it is now me-made, which is something I'm very proud of, and I want to cherish these makes, and I think if I keep making more and more, I value less each garment, if that makes any sense. So to make sure that I replace this sewing addiction, I would say I want to create another habit, which is to document more my makes and also probably vlog a little bit more. So that's something that will keep me from sewing that much. Also, I'm thinking that I might start vlogging in French. It's a request that I get from time to time, and I feel like some of you can speak French as well, and that it might be your first language. So if it's something that's interesting, please let me know in the comments. Let's get into today's main topic, which is the Serra jacket from Pauline Alice. First off, I think this jacket really didn't get the love it deserves from the sewing community. To me, it's such an incredible pattern that features 3 views. View A is a raincoat. It's a mid-thigh length. It features a stand-up collar, a zipper closure, and a detachable hood. I didn't make this version yet, but I really want to do it, and I think I might do it in a thick corduroy. View B is a blouse and jacket with a fixed hood and elasticated sleeves and hem. It features a zip closure and 3 zip pockets. View C, which is the view I chose, is a trench coat with a storm shield and a gun flap. It's knee-length with 2 welt pockets on the exterior and 1 welt pocket on the interior of the jacket. It's a classic collar, single-breasted with a button closure, a belt, and a detachable hood. As always, Pauline Alice instruction and drafting are on point. Also, her pattern's instruction comes in English, French, and Spanish, which is something that's really interesting to me, as I can read them both in French and English and learn more about how to sew in my mother tongue. This pattern comes in size X small and 2X large, which takes you from a bust measurement of 32.5 to 46 inches. Pauline Alice patterns are designed for a B cup and for a height of 5 foot and 5 inches. One thing I have to say about this pattern size is that there is a lot of ease, so I highly recommend making a muslin, especially because it's an involved make, so you really want to get the size right. I made a size X small, and there is 7 inches of ease at the bust and 11 inches of ease at the hips. Just to give you an example of her sizing, I made the quad coat earlier this year, and I made size 38 based on my body measurements, and for that size, the body measurements are a bust of 34.5 inch, waist of 27.5 inch, and 37 inch at the hips. Although for the Serra jacket, I made a size X small, even if for my body measurement, I fit it in a size small. Making a coat is such an involved make. The preparation just of the pattern pieces for this pattern is about 2 hours because you need to cut all 29 pieces and then you need to interface them, and if you're interlining the lining, then you need to do that as well. So this time I interline the sleeves and then the back of the jacket. I used 3.3 meters of fabric instead of the 4 meters that's recommended. I also used about 1.7 meters of lining. With most patterns that require that much fabric, I recommend cutting all the pieces of your pattern and then trying to place them on an imaginary fabric, so then you know the length you really need. Especially with fabrics that are like coat fabric that may get expensive, you really want to get this amount right to avoid buying more expensive fabric. And one of the first steps in making this coat is to do the exterior welt pocket, and it was a real challenge for me. First, because I was too excited and I didn't make a practice, and I should have done that because it's the first time I was doing a welt pocket with a flap. And second, because I just went a little too fast. It's really sad because it's like the one thing that I'm not fully satisfied with the coat, and it's right in front so you can see them all the time, you know? Wasn't satisfied with the interior pocket, it wouldn't be a big deal, but now it's just right in front looking at me. So if I have one advice to give you, is to really take your time. I spent almost 2 hours working on these pockets, and yeah, like I said, I'm not satisfied with them. You assemble the body and the lining, which isn't that big of a deal because there isn't any set-in sleeve, it's raglan sleeve, so that's quicker. Then the other step that takes quite a little bit of time is the detachable hood, and it has 6 pieces out of 27, so there's quite a little bit of work there. The rest is pretty straightforward. You do need to bag the coat, and the patterns recommend to only leave 10 centimeters of the lining open so that you can bag the coat. But with this like big coat, for me 10 centimeters isn't enough. I really needed more because when I was trying to pull the coat out, it opened up the opening more, and it just pulled on the fabric in a way that I wish I didn't. So I know that for like this long and big project, it takes at least 15 centimeters for me to bag a coat. I think making a coat is the most satisfying project because you get so much wear out of it. I've been wearing my porte coat non-stop since I've made it, and I know it will be the same with this one. They're 2 different styles, and I think they really complement each other. On another note, there's some big changes coming into my life, and I don't want to get really into it because I think you're in here for the sewing, but if it's something that's interesting, please let me know. If you're curious to know a little bit more about my personal life, I'd be very happy to share the changes with you. So this is it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you so much. I wish you a happy new year. I hope that you get to grow, and I hope that 2020 is just amazing. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next sewing video. Bye!